Hi guys, and welcome to another Gas City Gaming Warhammer 40k 8th edition preview video. This is Dave here with you, bringing you in this video another portion of my army, Demons. So we're going to take a look at a few demon stat lines and some point costs in this video, and hopefully get a little more details about the role of Chaos in 8th edition 40k. So the first sheet we have to look at here today is the Demonettes. So the Demonette and the I forget the name of essentially the Sergeant. They can move 7 inches, so a little faster than average. Ballistic skill and weapon skill hitting on 3s. Strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound apiece. The regular Demonettes have 2 attacks, and the Sergeant type character has 3 attacks. They all have leadership of 7 and a 6-up save. They contain 1 Allures, the base unit. Allures, there we go, that's the Sergeant type character, and 9 Demonettes. It can include up to 10 additional Demonettes if you would like to, or up to 20 additional Demonettes, so you can have up to 30. Each model attacks with Piercing Claws. Piercing Claws are a melee weapon with Strength User, AP -1, and 1 damage. Each time you make a wound on a roll of 6 for this weapon, that hit is resolved with an AP -4 instead of -1, so essentially kind of rending. Wargear options. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 Demonette may take an Instrument of Chaos, and for every 10 models in the unit, 1 Demonette may take a Demonic Icon. They are Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, have Demonic Ritual, and also those are some of their broader special rules. We don't know what those mean yet. They are Graceful Killers, so increase the attacks characteristic of each model in the unit by 1, while it contains 20 or more models. So 3 attacks apiece, and 4 for the Allures when you have 20 models, and you can bring up to 30. So, Instrument of Chaos, I believe is what that says. A unit that includes any Instruments of Chaos, add 1 to their advance and charge rolls. Also, the Demonic Icon. If you roll 1 when taking a morale test for a unit with any Demonic Icons, reality blinks, and the Demonic Horde is bolstered. No models flee, and D6 slain Demonettes are instead added to the unit. Now remember, you can't come up above your starting amount, but if it's partway through the game and you've lost some, you roll a 1 in 6 chance of you getting just D6 models back. So that seems good. That seems good. I like that new rule. And we don't know what Demonic Quicksilver Swiftness and Demonic Ritual are yet. Anyway, no, they are something for the first keywords, Slaanesh and Demon, probably Chaos for the first keyword, and then they're Infantry and Demonettes for their regular keywords. The Herald of Slaanesh is movement of 7, a weapon skill hitting on 2s, ballistic skill hitting on 2s, strength 4, toughness 3, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8, and a 6-up save. A Herald of Slaanesh is a single model armed with Piercing Claws. Piercing Claws, just like the Demonettes, are Strength User, AP -1, and 1 damage. On a wound roll of 6, they are resolved at AP -4 instead of -1. Has Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. Is a Herald of Slaanesh, so you add 1 to the strength characteristic of friendly Slaanesh demons within 6 inches of 1 or more models with this ability, so they do not stack. Psyker. This model can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in each friendly psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. It knows the Smite psychic power and 1 psychic power from the Slaanesh discipline. So faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Its keywords are Character, Infantry, Psyker, and Herald of Slaanesh. So you can imagine you put this next to your units of Demonettes when they have 25 left. That's 25 times 3, 75 strength 4 attacks coming in. That's a lot. Keeper of Secrets. So one of our Demon Prince type characters starts at 12 wounds, and from 7 to 12 wounds remaining, he moves 12 inches. Has a strength 6 and 6 attacks. From 4 to 6 wounds remaining, it can move 9 inches, is strength 5, and has 5 attacks. From 1 to 3 wounds remaining, he can move 6 inches, has strength 4 and 4 attacks. His weapon skill hitting on 2 pluses, bliss skill hitting on 3 pluses, toughness 7, like I said, starts at 12 wounds, leadership 10, and a 6-up save. A Keeper of Secrets is a single model armed with a Wit Stealer sword and Snapping Claws. Now, Snapping Claws are Strength User, AP -2, and do 3 damage. Each time the model fights, it can make D3 additional attacks with this weapon. Each time you make a wound roll of 6+ for this weapon, that hit is resolved with an AP -4 instead of -1, even though the weapon itself says -2. Typo the second. no book is free of this, but like if I'm noticing it on my first read through, they probably should have to. And that's the thing, when you get the same pair of eyes typing it and doing this, they probably read this book 5 times before they even went to the printer and stuff, if not more, I'm sure. But it's just one of those little things. Can't complain. It doesn't affect the rules in any way, but, you know, just little things. Little things. Wit Stealer's Sword is strength +1, so strength anywhere from 5 to 7, depending on where your wounds are at. AP modifier of -3 and 3 damage. Subtract 1 from hit rolls made for a model that has suffered any wounds from this weapon without being slain. Period. So stats can't be decreased below, like a 1 always fails, so a 6 always hits. Yeah, and that doesn't say till end of turn or anything, so until the end of the game that Wit Stealer's Sword hits something. And it doesn't say that it doesn't stack. It doesn't say just till end of turn, so if I subtract 1 multiple times, oh, just without being slain, so it only happened once. Subtract 1 from the hit rolls made, sorry, like I said, this is my first read-through, so I want to make sure I try to understand these, especially because I play this army. Subtract 1 from hit rolls made for a model that has suffered any wounds from this weapon without being slain. Okay, so it's just 1, but it is a permanent subtract 1. Its abilities is Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, a Demonic Ritual. It is also a Greater Demon, so friendly Slaanesh Demon units within 6 inches of this model, when they take a morale test, can use this model's leadership instead of their own, so leadership 10. So, as an example, leadership 10 instead of leadership 6, let's say, as an example. If I lost 4 units on a D6, I roll 6, on my leadership 6, I have 4 models flee, because I had my lost models 4 to my roll on the D6, which is 6, so total is 10. It exceeds my leadership characteristic of 6. I rolled a total of 10, remember. It exceeds 6 by 4, so 4 models, additional models flee, aside from the ones I lost in combat. If my Keeper of Secrets is within 6 inches of it, leadership 10, so nobody else flees. That saves 4 models. It means 4 more attacks next turn, so leadership modifying is a big thing. If you've watched a lot of any Age of Sigmar, you can kind of start to notice that as well. And now that we use essentially the same morale system, you'll see it start to matter for us too. Psyker. This model can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers in each friendly psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. It knows Smite psychic power and 2 psychic powers from the Slaanesh discipline. Remember, you can either roll or choose those. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Its keywords are Character, Monster, Psyker, and Keeper of Secrets. Let me just zoom in on this one a little bit here to see if we can get a little more detail on that. Up to 10 additional horrors. So this is a pink horror. Yes, this is one of the horrors. Can't quite make that out. We'll see. We'll read through what we can see, though. As some kind of flames. This is 18-inch shooting weapon. Assault 2, Strength 3, AP nothing, and 1 damage. Wargear options for every 10 models in the unit. So this is pink horrors. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 pink horror may take an Instrument of Chaos. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 pink horror may take a demonic icon. So demonic, their abilities are demonic, ephemeral form, I can speak well today, and demonic ritual. They have iridescent horror. When you set up one unit, this unit for the first time, you may select a single pink horror in the unit. That model has an attack characteristic of 2 instead of 1. Magic Made Manifest. A unit of horrors can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in each friendly psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. However, when you do so, only roll a single d6 for the psychic test or deny the witch test, and use the result of a single die roll to determine the outcome. Note that this means that horrors will never suffer perils of the warp, but they also can't cast anything that costs more than 6 or deny anything on more of a 6, right? So that seems like a kick to the shins, we'll say, of pink horrors and horrors in general. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing if you played against summoning lists in 7th edition. Anyway, Split. Each time a pink horror is slain, you can add up to 2 blue horrors, to this unit before you remove the deadly slain pink horror. Each time a blue horror is slain, you can add 1 pair of brimstone horrors to this unit before we remove the slain blue horror. The replacement models cannot be placed within 1 inch of an enemy model. Note that horrors that flee do not generate any extra models for their unit. So if you fail a morale test, those ones that fled from your failed morale test do not split because they didn't actually get destroyed. They just ran back to the warp. They're like, nope, going home. Match play. In match play, this is the first time we've seen something that's separate from match play. Match play, you must pay reinforcement costs for each and every blue and brimstone horror model that you add to unit of horrors, but the additional models can take the unit above its starting strength. So, if, like we're talking about, if you're playing a 1,500 point game and you bring pink horrors and you plan on bringing in the blue and brimstone horrors, you have to set aside whatever their points cost is. So whether that means bring 1,300 points and then a bunch of blue horrors and brimstone horrors, I don't know what their costs are, I'm just guessing. That means that's what you have to do. Demonic icons, so that's the same thing. On a morale test, you roll a 1, a blink, and you get D6 slain pink horrors are added to the unit. Let me just think. You roll a 1 for a morale test for a unit within demonic icons, reality blinks, and the demonic horrors. So a pink horror can bring an icon. That's going to be the one you remove last. I'll tell you why. Say your unit, pink horrors have died, and they've split into blue horrors and brimstones, etc., etc. And your pink horror that you remove, and then in the meantime you have to take a morale test. As long as your guy with that demonic icon is still on the table, if you roll a 1, you get pink horrors back. So your unit could bolster itself, essentially, because those pink horrors that split into blues and those blues that split into brimstones, as long as that demonic icon is on the table still, keep in mind that can be your last one. So that seems really good. Let me just think here. Yeah, to this unit, because blue horrors are added to this unit. The brimstone horrors are added to this unit. So you can even, for example, I start with 10 pink horrors, just as an example. Start with 10 pink horrors. 5 of them die and turn into blue horrors. 3 of those blue horrors die and turn into brimstone horrors. So I have 6 brimstone horrors, 4 blue horrors, and 5 pink horrors. I need to take a morale test. I roll a 1 on my morale test. I roll a 6 on that D6. I get an additional 6 pink horrors, well, up to 10 pink horrors. That's how I'm reading this. Yeah, that's how I'm reading that. So I am back to my 10 pink horrors, 4 blue horrors, and 6 brimstone horrors. That seems pretty good. That might be something they want to FAQ pretty quick, because that seems pretty good. Granted, it's a 1 in 6 chance. You know, it's a dice game still, but that seems like something that I would enjoy, personally. You know, even playing against stuff sometimes. I'm not a super competitive win-at-all-cost player, but that just seems fun to happen. It's like, no, you got pink horrors back. Anyway, this unit can attempt to manifest psychic power in each 1 psychic power in each friendly psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 power in each enemy psychic phase. It knows a smite power. When manifesting and denying power, first select a model in the unit. Measure. Okay, so here's our Brotherhood of Psyker rule that I was wondering about in a separate video, or in the comments from earlier. When manifesting or denying a psychic power, first select a model in the unit. Measure range, visibility, etc. from this model. If a brimstone horror is selected, it is slain after the psychic power has been used. That's kind of neat. So brimstone horrors go away. But I'm assuming that's how Grey Knights are going to work then as well. And then if something suffers a perils, it's that model that it starts from. So I know I was having a discussion with someone in the comments about things suffering perils and the D3 mortal wounds rolling over. So you would start at that particular model that you choose. So this guy out of this unit of pink brimstone and blue horrors is casting the power, or this guy out of the unit of Grey Knights is casting the power. So on a perils, he's the one that would suffer the result. So that's kind of interesting. So here are stats for the horrors. The pink horrors are 6-inch moves. All the horrors are 6-inch moves. The pink horrors have weapon skill and ballistic skill of 4+. The blue horrors are just weapon skill 5+. Same with the brimstone horrors, weapon skill 5+. The pink horrors are strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. The blue horrors are strength 2, toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, and 6-up save. And the brimstone horrors are strength 1, toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks each, because there's a pair of them. Because if you've ever seen a base of brimstone horrors, there's actually 2 models on the base. So, and leadership 7, and save of 6 up. Boop. It's the Herald of Z. This is one of our big guys that we've been waiting to see. So only 4 power points for... Or sorry, no, I'm gotten that wrong with the Lord of Change. Sorry. It's been a long day. If you've watched all the previous videos, I've filmed all these right back to back to back, so... movement of 6 inches, weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 3, toughness 3, 4 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 6-up save. Herald of Z is a single model armed with a ritual dagger. The ritual dagger is strength user, AP -1, and 1 damage. Each time this weapon slays an enemy model, the bearer recovers 1 wound lost earlier in the battle. I think that's kind of what they had before, actually. This model may take a Staff of Change. So it has Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. Herald of Tzeentch. It adds 1 to the strength characteristic of friendly Tzeentch demon units within 6 inches of 1 or more models with this ability. So again, if you have 3 Heralds, everything still only gets +1 strength. The Staff of Change, you increase the range of this model's smite power from 18 inch to 24 inch if it has a Staff of Change. The Psyker, special rule, this model can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in each friendly psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. It knows the smite power and 2 psychic powers from the Tzeentch discipline. Its faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon, and has its keywords are Character, Infantry, Horror, Psyker, and Herald of Tzeentch. So a Demon Prince of Chaos. Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit on this for you guys so you can read a little bit better if you're watching along. And of course, all these will be available in the description below. We'll link to all of these images as well. So a Demon Prince of Chaos. It moves 8 inches, weapon skill and bliss skill hitting on 2s, strength 7, toughness 6, and 10 wounds. Has 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. A Demon Prince of Chaos is a single model armed with a Hellforged sword and a set of Malefic Talons. So the first thing there is a ranged attack with 24-inch range, assault 2, strength 4, armor modifier -1, and 2 damage. Demonic Axe is strength +1, so strength 8, AP -3 it looks like, and 3 damage. When attacking with the axe, you must subtract 1 from the hit rolls. The Hellforged Sword, strength user, AP -2 and 3 damage. The Malefic Talons are strength user, AP -2 and 2 damage. Each time the model fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. A model armed with 2 sets of Malefic Talons can make 3 additional attacks with them instead. Okay, this model may replace its Hellforged Sword with a Demonic Axe or a second set of Malefic Talons. This model may take a Warp Bolter. Oh, so that's what our first thing was. This model may have wings. If it does, move characteristics change to 12 inch, and it gains the Fly keyword. Its abilities are Demonic and Demonic Ritual. It has Demonic Allegiance. So this is our keyword for what Chaos God you want to follow. When you include this model in your army, you must choose which of the 4 Chaos Gods it owes its allegiance to: Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh. It then gains the appropriate keyword. Khorne Demon Princes have the Unstoppable Ferocity ability. Tzeentch Demon Princes gain the Ephemeral Form ability. Nurgle Demon Princes gain the Disgustingly Resilient ability. Slaanesh Demon Princes gain the Quicksilver Swiftness ability. Prince of Chaos. You can re-roll hit rolls of 1 made for friendly demon units within 6 inches, but only if they owe their allegiance to the same Chaos God. Khorne Demons are only affected by Khorne Demon Princes, for example. Fight over magic? Something like that? Can't quite make that first bit out, but something over magic. A Khorne Demon Prince increases the attack characteristic by 1. Demon Prince of Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh gains the Psyker keyword, because Khorne doesn't like Psykers, right? It can attempt to manifest some psychic powers. We can't see that part of the picture. I can't quite make that out, so I don't want to say. Psychic power in each friendly psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. It knows the smite power and 1 psychic power from the appropriate Chaos discipline. Now I'm assuming, based on it being able to deny 1 and only knowing smite +1, that it can only cast 1. That's not a for sure. Its faction keywords are Chaos and Demon. Its keywords are Character, Monster, Demon Prince of Chaos. Belcore, the flying invisible thing that a lot of people house ruled. Anyway, Belcore can move 14 inches, weapon skill hitting on 2s, ballistic skill hitting on 2s, strength 6, toughness 6, 8 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 9, and a 4-up save, it looks like. Belcore is a single model armed with the Blade of Shadows, set of Malefic Talons, only 1 Belcore in your army. The Blade of Shadows is a melee weapon with +1 strength, AP -5, so pretty much ignoring any armor. And 3 damage. Malefic Talons, strength user, AP -2, 2 damage. Each time model fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. It has Demonic and Demonic Ritual. He's a Lord of Torment. Subtract 1 from the leadership of enemy units that are within 12 inches of Belcore in the morale phase. That's really good. Prince of Chaos. You can reroll any failed hit rolls of 1 made for friendly demon units within 6 inches of Belcore. And Shadow Form. You can reroll failed saving throws for Belcore. Hence probably why he only has a 4-up. Belcore can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers in each friendly psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. I like that they're doing that you can tend to cast more than you can deny, which usually means that your powers, at least some of them, will go off, and not have to rely on the dice battle. He knows the Smite power and 2 psychic powers from the Dark Heretics discipline. His faction keywords are Chaos and Demon. His other keywords are Character, Monster, Demon Prince, Fly, Psyker, and Belcore. So the Demonic Ritual, so a keyword that we've seen a few times now, instead of moving in their movement phase, any Chaos character can, at the end of their movement phase, so instead of moving, it just sits there and waits, attempt to summon a demon unit with this ability by performing a Demonic Ritual. The character cannot do so if they arrived as reinforcements this turn, or if they themselves have been summoned to the battlefield this turn. If they do so, first choose one of the 4 Chaos Gods, Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh. A character who owes allegiance to one of the Dark Gods can only attempt to summon the units of their patron. For example, Khorne character can only attempt to summon Khorne demons. You roll up to 3 dice. This is your summoning roll. You can summon the 1 new unit with the Demonic Ritual ability to the battlefield that has a power rating equal to or less than the total result, so long as it has the same Chaos God keyword you chose at the start. In case of units that have the choice of allegiance, such as Furies, the unit when summoned will have this keyword. So if you summon Furies or a Demon Prince or something, for example, that with a Khorne unit, it comes in as a Khorne demon. This unit is treated as reinforcements for your army and can be placed anywhere on the battlefield that is entirely within 12 inches of the character and is more than 9 inches from any enemy model. If the total rolled is insufficient to summon any unit, the ritual fails and no new unit is summoned. If your summoning roll includes any doubles, your character then suffers a mortal wound. If it contains any triples, it instead suffers D3 mortal wounds. So keep in mind, this summoning still has to be counted in your points when you're building your army, right? There's no more summoning infinite stuff, infinite things. What I like about this, though, is for matched play, we're using power level for match play. There have been a few rumblings that with GW introducing power levels, is that them kind of testing the waters to get us off of points onto a more simplistic system, right? Hard to do because, you know, a unit with certain weapons is just better than that same unit with other weapons. So getting onto the power level stuff is gonna... also, I don't know if we're going to see... It doesn't specifically say what that unit comes in equipped with. I'm assuming it's just its base weapons, you can't bring upgrades. Well, I guess it'd be whatever he paid for because it's on your army list. So now remember, our Demonic Ritual, these units that you summon with that Demonic Ritual have to be built in on your army list. All the points set aside for them anyway. Sorry, the points set aside for them. I can set aside 200 points of summoning, and you know what? I need some really good anti-infantry and bring in some, some core and some bloodletters, for example. Or I need anti-vehicle unit and summon an anti-vehicle demon unit. But you do have to set those points aside. So okay, I set aside 200 points. Okay, here's 200 points of Blood Crushers. Here's 200 points of Flamers of Tzeentch. Here, that kind of thing. That's what you have to do. But I like that. It doesn't if you've ever played against a summoning list in 7th edition, you know how nuts it can get. So I like the fact that it's limited now. Then finally, points costs for some of our demons. So let's have a look at this. Belcore himself. So all of these are going to be including wargear. There's only a couple things that don't include wargear. It looks like the Demon Princes. But other than that, until I say so, basically if you're just painting while you're listening to this, everything includes wargear. That's different from any of the other videos, but everything includes wargear. So Belcore costs 240 points. Beasts of Nurgle, a unit of 1 to 9, costs 38 points each. Blood Crushers, a unit of 3 to 12, costs 47 points each. Bloodletters, a unit of 10 to 30, costs 9 points each. Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage costs 340 points. A Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury costs 340 points. The Blue Scribes costs 86 points. Burning Chariot costs 98 points. Changeling costs 100 points. Chaos Furies cost 5 to 20 points. A unit of 5 to 20 Furies cost 12 points each. A unit of 10 to 30 Demonettes costs 9 points each. Epidemius costs 100 points. An Exalted Seeker Chariot costs 92 points. Exalted Flamer costs 70. Units of 1 to 9 Fiends of Slaanesh costs 46 points each. 3 to 9 Flamers cost 28 points. Fleshhounds cost, for a unit of 5 to 20, cost 20 points each. The Great Unclean One costs 248 points. Hellflayer costs 93 points. Herald of Khorne costs 56 points. Herald of Khorne on a Blood Throne costs 105 points. Herald of Khorne on a Juggernaut costs 100 points. A Herald of Nurgle costs 70 points. A Herald of Slaanesh costs 66 points. A Herald of Slaanesh on an Exalted Seeker Chariot costs 140. And a Herald of Slaanesh on a Seeker Chariot, regular one not exalted, costs 116 points. A Herald of Slaanesh on a Steed costs 82 points. A Herald of Tzeentch costs 78. A Herald of Tzeentch on a Disc costs 99. Herald of Tzeentch on a Burning Chariot costs 130 points. Now your horrors, so keep in mind, for every pink horror, you have to pay the cost for your blue horrors and brimstone horrors as well. So essentially, what I'm going to do when I list this is, for a pink horror, so for one pink horror, a unit of 10 to 30, it costs 10 points for your pink horror, 5 points for your blue, and 2 for your brimstone. So every pink horror essentially costs 17 points. So a unit of 10 pink horrors costs 170, a unit of 30 pink horrors costs 510, anywhere in between at 17 points per pink horror. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about that. Kairos Fateweaver costs 400 points. Karanak costs 116 points. The Keeper of Secrets is 223 points. A Lord of Change is 340 points. Lord of Change with a Baleful Sword is 355 points. The Mask of Slaanesh is 78 points. Nurglings in a unit of 3 to 9 are 20 points each. A unit of 3 to 9 Plague Drones are 44 points each. Plague Bears, unit of 10 to 30, are 8 points each. A unit of 3 to 9 Screamers are 31 points each. Seeker Chariot is 70 points. Seekers themselves, a unit of 5 to 20, are 19 points each. Scarbrand is 380 points. A Skull Cannon is 147 points. Skull Taker is 84 points. Soul Grinder is 235 points. And a Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster is 340 points. Now, 2 units that do not include their wargear, that do not include the cost of their wargear, are the Demon Prince of Chaos, who comes in at 146 points, and the Demon Prince of Chaos with Wings, who comes in at 170 points. Now for their weapons, you can give them a Demonic Axe for 45 points. Remember, they come with a single Malefic Talon for free, and a Hellforged Sword for 42 points. And a Warp Bolter. You can give them a Warp Bolter if you like. So your base Demon Prince of Chaos will come in at 188 points, that's on the ground, and in the air will be 212 points. So you're flying Malefic Warp Talon, Hellforged Sword, Demon Prince with Wings comes in at 212, and you're on the ground Demon Prince with the Sword and Talons comes in at 188 points. A Demonic Icon, remember you can give them, you don't have to, costs 25 points, and an Instrument of Chaos costs 10, and a Rod of Sorcery for the Lord of Change costs 10 points, and a Staff of Change for your Herald costs 5 points. So that's all of our Chaos info for today. So basically right now you can go build your Demon army if you want to, really, because everything includes wargear. I don't have my Demons book handy right now, but I'm definitely going to take a look at that, see how points costs have changed, and what things are new, what's changed, what's different, we don't have all the stat lines, but points cost at least. And like I said in the last video, it's not really fair to compare, given that it's a completely new game. But it is just fun to look. Until we've played with them, with new costs, new abilities, new ways to hit, new ways to wound, it's hard to say. But it is always fun just to look and see. Just thought practice, right? So that's all I got for you today for our Demon video. Definitely some interesting stuff in there, for sure. Again, if you want to look through all these pages yourself, they'll be down in the description below. And again, if you guys want to be entered in the giveaway for the core rulebook along with 5 indexes, again, 1 to each person, it's not all going to the same person, sorry guys. Don't forget to comment on this or any other Warhammer 40k video on this channel, as well as be subscribed. Make sure your subscriptions are set to public so that I can see you and enter you in the draw. Also, you may have noticed that this channel has become monetized. What I want to do for you guys, though, is until June 17th, until release date, every penny I make from that is going straight back into the giveaway. So whether that means I can add another index into the draw, another couple indexes, another core rulebook, or even all the way up to giving away a starter kit. I would love to give away a starter kit, really I would. If we get even close to starter kit price, I'm probably going to throw in the last few bucks myself, right? I'd love to give that away to somebody. But don't forget to get that to those higher level of prizes. I need the views, the subscriptions, all that kind of stuff. Because again, it just literally goes all back to you guys. As of me filming this, I'm probably about halfway to at least to adding 1 index. So interesting here. That's where we're at progress-wise. But that's all I got for you guys for today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. If you like this stuff, show me a demon list in the comments. Build a demon list. Why not? Just for fun. I'd love to see it. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. If you're in Medicine Hat or area on June 17th, don't forget to come down to Comic Readers on Railway Avenue for our release event. It could be tons of fun playing Warhammer 40k 8th edition all afternoon, having tons of fun. If you have models, great, bring them. If you don't, I have a bunch we can play with mine. It's fine. It'll just be having a fun Saturday afternoon. Have a great rest of your day, guys, though. And remember, as always, the Emperor protects.